Okay, so last time I was talking about Excel, and particularly with regard to our assignment number 2. And so I had done this much, okay, of the Excel. And this was the Amazon, right? And so I had gotten the weekly closing price of Amazon starting, I mean, I guess, did I go a year? So starting a year ago, basically, I got the closing price for Amazon every week. Now, I don't know if these actually are Fridays or not. I guess they're not. These are maybe closing prices on Mondays. It doesn't really matter, you know, what day of the week it is. Okay? We're just trying to get a snapshot every week, you know, and so these were the dates, okay, of the closing of the price. This was the closing. Now, how did I get that? How did I get this information? Well, let's review that, okay? So I go to the internet. And then basically I just Google, right? Something like Amazon historical stock prices or something like that, right? So the bookmarks, I've got Google in there. Google, yeah. And I'm going to do historical stock prices, okay? And let me just do, let's do Microsoft, okay, today. You want to? Microsoft. Historical prices, stock prices. There it is, right there. Microsoft Investor. Oh, here was Microsoft Investor Relations, okay? Dividends and stock history. Oh, good. Let me just go to that. Oh, good. So here's dividends. Oh, so Microsoft is paying dividends. They pay 20 cents a share every quarter. So like on March the 8th, 2012, this coming March the 8th, okay, they're going to pay whoever owns their stock, they're going to pay them 20 cents a share. So if you own 100 shares, okay, of Microsoft, you'll get $20, okay? If you own 1,000 shares of Microsoft, you'll get $200, okay? And they'll basically send out checks to whoever these owners are. So that's good, okay? And well, we want to know what the prices were. So let's see. Well, here's something that says Microsoft price history right here. Let's click on that. We've got a nice chart here. Here's a chart of their stock prices, okay, and here's something that says historical prices here. Let's click on that. Oh, great. So, look. Here's These seem to be weekly prices, okay? Right here. High, low, open, close, volume. Oh, for exactly a year. Exactly what we want, okay? Download the file, okay? We can click that and download the file. You have chosen to open usmsft.csv. Now I wanted an Excel file, okay? So it's gonna download a file CSV. That stands for comma separated values file. Okay. And so save file. So I'm going to say okay, save it. And now it says US MSFT, and it's in a Microsoft Excel comma separated file. I don't want that. I just want, well, I guess I had to take it there. I'll tell you what, I'm going to cancel this, okay? I'm going to try again. I'm going to download the file, and then I'm just going to open it up. Passenger. Open. Okay, so I opened it up. Okay, now I'm going to save it. Save as. And I'm going to save as an Excel workbook, okay? And I'm going to save it computer science 1300. Okay, so now I have saved that file. Now there's 10 different stocks involved here, depending on your last digit in your PeopleSoft ID, and so the information available on each of these 10 stocks is going to be somewhat different, or maybe different. It also depends on, there'll be multiple pieces of information on the internet about, but your job is to find weekly values, okay, closing values for your stock, okay. And so I've done this for Amazon last time. Now I'm doing it for Microsoft. I didn't have any problem on these two. Now I haven't actually investigated all 10 of them, okay. But my guess is you're not going to have any problem. It's going to work pretty much like this. Okay? Now, what I see here is, I've downloaded this into Excel. And what I see here is some things that I want and some things that are funny. Okay? What do these hash marks here mean? Okay, these pound signs. Okay, what does that mean in Excel? That has a very special meaning in Excel when you get this right here. It means that cell has got some data in it, and the width of the cell is not big enough. Okay, the data that goes in that cell is longer than you have allowed, okay? I mean, up here, data is being stored in, you know, Calibri 11, okay? So you know how to change the size of cells. You go up here to you know, this line, you know, that has ABC in it, and you'll notice that if you put the cursor there, when you get to the border between A and B, the cursor changes to arrows, okay? And when it changes to arrows, if you hold down the left mouse button and then push to the right, it'll give it more room. And you get it wide enough so that it has, those dates are then available, okay? And the next thing is it's got this stuff here at the beginning that I don't want, okay? So I go down here to the column that has the 1, 2, 3s in it, and I hold down the left mouse button, okay? And I outline all those, and I just hit delete, okay? So that deletes all of them, okay? Then I go out here to the any place and just click the left arrow, okay? Okay, now it's got a column for date. That's what I want. It's got a column for open, for high, for low. I don't want any of those, okay? So I can go back up here to the B, click the left mouse, scroll over. I'm holding the left mouse down the whole time. Let go of the left mouse. And just come here and just hit delete. That'll delete those columns, okay? It's also got volume over here. I click on that. I hit delete. Okay. So now I've deleted the things that I don't want, okay? So now all I've got is the date and the close. Okay, so I want, so first of all, this close, I'd really like that to be dollars, right? So I can hold down, go down to, notice there are 53 columns, okay? Because there's 52 weeks in the year plus the header, right? Then I go up here and this is the type of data I want. So I can click on that and I can say currency. Click on currency. Okay? So then changes that so that those closing prices look like prices. Right? Okay, now what does assignment 2 say? Let's go look at assignment 2 just a minute. So here's assignment 2, and it's on Blackboard, okay? So you should have found it on Blackboard and downloaded it if you wish. Okay, spreadsheets. Investigate the financial history of the company you were assigned in assignment 1. Make an Excel spreadsheet of its stock values at closing each week for the past year. The spreadsheet should have 4 columns: date, price difference from the previous week, and percent difference from the previous week. Okay. Then if there have been stock splits, okay, add a 5th column. So let's just do these. So the first 4 columns are date, price difference from the previous week, and percent difference. Okay, now, so So to get the difference, okay. Now there's there's one thing you have to learn, okay. If you don't want to, you know, update these, I mean, to get this difference, you basically have to take 31 to get the difference this week right here. You have to take $31.25 and subtract $30.50, okay? So the difference here should be 75 cents, right? And you got to do this on each one of these cells, and there's 52 of them, okay? So basically you just got to take each one of these values and subtract the previous week. So here, to get this cell, you got to take the 30.50 and subtract the 30.24, right? Now that's a lot of data entry, okay? That takes a long time to go down and do all 52 of them. So you got to learn how to do this, you know, in a fast and speedy manner. Now let me just do a little example out here to the side, okay? Let's just take the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Okay. And now, if I want to know the difference, okay, between this and this, okay, it would be 1 minus 2. So you get a minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. Let me do a little different here. Let me make that a jumble it up a little bit. 4, 3, 4. How about that? Okay, so if I want to know the difference, okay, over here, this right here has to be 1 minus 4. That should be a minus 3. This is 4 minus 3. That should be a plus 1. This is 3 minus 4. Should be a minus 1. And I can't get a difference down here, right? So here's what you do, okay? You come over here to the first one you want and you push down the left mouse button, okay? And you go and you hold it down and scoot the cursor down so that there's going to be 3 computations you're going to make, okay? You're going to compute those 3 cells there, okay? Then you hit an equal sign. Okay. Now you come over here and you hold the mouse down, hold it down, and you're going to have 1, 4, and 3, okay? And then you're going to subtract from that 4, 3, and 4, okay? So in Excel terminology, you have got the cells E3, E4, and E5, and you're going to subtract from E3. You're going to subtract. What happened over here? Something happened. It did. Okay. E3, E4, E5, then I'm going to subtract from that E4, E5, and E6, okay? So from E3, I'm going to subtract E4. From E4, I'm subtract E5. From E5, I'm going to subtract E6, okay? So basically this is vector notation, okay? So from these 3 cells, okay, I'm going to subtract these 3 cells. It's offset by 1. Now to get that to work, you have to hold down the shift key and the control key, okay, and those are on the bottom left of your keypad, okay? You had to hold them down, and while you're holding them down you have to hit enter. And so that's how you do that, okay? Now there's some other things you can do, okay? For instance, I can put in the number 9 here. And let's say I wanted to have all of these be the number 9. Okay. Then you can go up here and you see this little down arrow here. You click on that. Okay. And that's basically an extender, and it extends this 9 down. Or you can, let's say, put in a 0 here, okay? And you want to, you go from here down to 0, okay? And over here, if you want to extend up, or you have this 0, and you want to you extend to the right or the left, okay? And then you make a series out of it, okay? A series, okay? So this can be a linear series, okay? With a step value of 1, okay? I gotta cancel here. Okay? I have to take this, and I gotta mark all this stuff off, okay? Come over here, okay? And I want a series, okay? A linear series in a column, okay? The step value is 1, okay? Okay, see, so they just increments by 1 each time, see? Or you can click that, and you can do a series, okay? It can be linear by steps of 2. Oops, I forgot to mark it off. It can be a series. Linear step by 2. So there's different ways of creating data with this, okay? But you basically have to learn how to do it, with all of these columns. Okay? Now I want to just erase all this stuff. There's an eraser over here. Click, clear all. Get rid of that. Okay, so over here I want to say difference here. Weekly difference. I'll just put in diff. Okay. So over here, starting here, I'm going to click down the left mouse, hold it down, go all the way down to all 50. Only don't do the last one, because I cannot do the difference with the last one. Okay. I'm going to say equal. Okay. So these values, hold the left one down. Minus, okay. And now, starting with the second one, hold down. This includes the last one, okay? So basically it's saying subtract the vector B3 to B53 from the vector B2 to 52, okay? So it's offset by 1, okay? Hold down Shift and Control and hit Enter. Okay. Now that's the difference. I would like that difference also to be dollar difference, okay? So I come up here to where it says General, with the arrow, click on that. Currency, I'm going to make that currency. Okay? So here this week you gained 75 cents a share, here 26 cents a share, here $1 a share. Here you lost 48 cents a share. That's week by week. Okay. Now I'm going to here, I'm going to say percent difference. Percent difference. There's different ways of doing this, but one way is I'm going to mark off this whole thing here. And now up here I can just do this. I can declare that to be a percentage, okay, right here. Okay. And so the percentage of this divided by that, okay? So I click left, hold down. divided by what did I do? Sorry. Click this down, percent difference, okay? That's the percentage, okay? This percentage is equal to the difference divided by the price okay. Hold down Shift and Control and hit enter. So you don't have to multiply by 100, okay, if you made this a percentage to start with, okay. I guess last time when I did this with Amazon, I actually calculated, I made this a number, right? And I calculated, you know, difference divided by times 100, okay? But percentage, it makes it a percentage already. So here was a 2% gain, okay? Okay, so there's the first 4 columns, okay? The date, the close, the difference, and the percent difference, okay? Now this starts getting a little more complicated, okay? If, yes? Oh, yeah, any port in a storm, okay? We say there's different ways to skin a cat, right? And so you skin the cat however you want, as long as it's right, okay? Yes? The new formula for what? Well, let's take this cell right here, okay? And let's have the data type of that cell be a number, okay? Okay. If the data type is a number, okay, and I want to compute the percent, okay, so I want to basically take this number right here, divided by that, okay. I'm going to say equal, okay, this number, okay, divided by this number, okay. I had to multiply that by 100 if I want percent, right? Because if I take C2 and divide it by B2, it's just going to give me a fraction, right? So I had to multiply that by 100 to get percent, okay. So it's really best to go ahead and do this. 100, okay, times, okay, this number, okay, divided by this number, okay? And just hit enter, okay? Now you get the 2.4. You don't get a percent after it, okay? Now, let me take this cell here and make it a percent. Okay. Then I can say equal to this number divided by this number, okay? Hit return, okay? I don't have to multiply by 100, and it gets a percent mark after it, okay? Okay? Well, what the assignment says is investigate each week for the past year. What?
So basically, it's what we do, and then from February 21st, 2011,
Yeah. I don't really care. You can just make it all of 2011 if you wish. Okay. Or you can still go from, you know, but basically the last year. Okay, you know, more or less. Yes. What? That's right. How do you get a percentage? Okay. Well, you can click on this here, okay, and you can change it from a number, okay, to a percentage. Okay. Whoops, that's 240%. Uh-oh. Well, I guess that doesn't work. Okay. How do you get a percent after it? Well, my feeling about that is you had it as a number, okay? Up here in the heading, if you say percent difference, okay, you don't really have to have a percent on each one of these here because the heading says it's a percent, okay? But this is a little bit better, okay? What did I do? Last time? See, I didn't have a percent last time. See, when I did Amazon last time, I didn't make that a percent, so it says percent difference, and there was no percentages there, okay? Okay? So either one's okay. I'm sorry? I just said either one's okay. But I like this one better. We're not going to count off for if you don't have a percent sign. If you have a percent sign up here in the header, okay, that should do. We're very flexible. I mean, we're so flexible we're limp, right? So I tell the grader, you know, give them a little slack here, okay? Don't be you know, so picky, okay, over some things. Now, be picky over the things you actually have to be picky about, again. I mean, but try to, you know, realize there's going to be some. I mean, any assignment, you know, if you look at the requirements, okay, there's some, you know, freedom in it a little bit, anyway. Okay, now let me get back to this. If there has been stock splits. Now let me say, since we're only doing 1 year's worth of data, and that was last year, probably there's not going to be any stock splits, okay, in anybody's, okay, you know. So this, if there have been stock splits, is almost, you know, it ain't going to happen because last year wasn't a good year, and so stocks weren't splitting, okay. So if there were no stock splits, you're going to skip the stock split part, okay. If there have been a stock split, add a fifth column. Well, in Microsoft, there wasn't any stock splits last year. And there have been stock splits, you know, in the past, okay. In fact, you know, if you had bought, say, $5,000 worth of Microsoft at the initial public offering, okay, there have been so many stock splits and everything, that $5,000 would be worth about $2 million now. But of course, Microsoft went public in 1986, okay, you know, so the chance that you would have had $5,000 back then, hey, you know, you weren't born, you know. For instance, if the stock's okay, so blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to just skip that for right now, okay? There haven't been any stock splits. If there have been dividends, Add a fifth or sixth column showing the dividend for a single share. Now, Microsoft did have dividends. Because what?
Your first pass,
Oh.
show the dividend.
So that was on the first thing that I brought up, okay? And so actually, starting a year ago, would go back to here's March, okay? Say March 14th, they gave a 16-cent dividend. And June 15th, they gave a 16% dividend. And then September 20th and December the 14th, they gave a 20% dividend, okay? So, so I'm going to have a column here that says dividend. Just put DIV. Okay. Actually, you know, this is all caps, this is all caps, this is all caps. I ought to make that all caps, don't you think? Percent diff. Oh. Yep. And then here's dividend, the dividend. Okay, okay, so now actually most of the weeks there was no dividend, okay? So I'm going to put a 0 there. And now I'm going to click, hold down, and move all the way down here. And I'm going to extend that, okay? Remember that? You're going to click on that and say down, up. They're all zeros, okay? And I want those to be currencies, okay? Okay, so no dollars, no dollars, no dollars, okay? Except if I go back to March of last year, say March the 14th, there was a 16-cent dividend here. And then in June, I got here, there was another 16-cent dividend. And in September, there was a 20-cent dividend. And then in December, another 20%. I don't remember the exact date in 12/12. That was 14th, okay, so I'll put it in the week of the 19th, I guess. There's a dividend of 20 cents here, 0.24. Okay, alrighty. So I've got those dividends, okay? Yeah, let's go on down here. Assume you bought $1,000 worth of this stock each week for the past year. How much would your holdings be worth week by week? considering the change in prices each week and any splits or dividends. Add a column showing this accumulation. Okay. Well, okay, so each week I'm buying $1,000 worth of this stuff. Okay? So let me just click here and let's just say stock bought, okay, or say weekly purchase, okay. Weekly purchase this week, okay. Purchase, so stock, purchase, okay. Stock per. Okay, so what I have to do here is I have to take $1,000 and divide it by the price of one share, right? And so I'm going to click on here, hold down. Okay. So that's what I want. Those are the cells I want to compute. I'll say equal 1,000. That's $1,000 divided by the closing price. Hold down. Now, so this is kind of a strange thing. It's a scalar value, 100, okay, divided by a vector. Okay. What it means is you take this 1,000 and divide it by B2. That goes in the first cell. Then you take this 1,000, divide it by B3. That goes in the next cell. And this 1,000 by B4 goes in the next cell, and so forth. Okay. Hold down Shift Control and enter. Well, that's a general format. Let me change that to these are numbers of shares of stock. Okay, so I want that to be a number, and the default is 2 digits. Okay, so that's fine. Okay. So this week I bought 32 shares of it. Last week I bought 32.79 shares. Okay. The week before that, about 33.07 shares. Okay. And when you buy the stuff, you do $1,000. You buy. They actually give it. Actually, on the stock market, they compute fractions of shares. They compute that out to about 5 decimal places. We're not going to be real. We're just going to divide again. Two digits is fine. So, how much do I have? Okay. So, starting down here, a year ago I bought 37 shares, then I bought 38 shares, then I bought 38 shares, then I bought 40. So I got to accumulate all that stuff, right? So over here, it's going to be this accumulation, okay? That is right here. I just have that 3766, okay? Starting here, I've got 3766 plus 3854, okay? Here, I've got 3766 plus 3854 plus 3894, okay? Hold down the left mouse button, scroll down, to here, okay? And that's going to be equal to, okay? going to be equal to this value. Will be equal to what I bought that week, okay? Plus my accumulation before. That is this is actually going to accumulate for me, okay? So for instance, up here is going to be F2, okay? That's just 32 shares, okay? Plus G3, okay? That's everything I've accumulated up through G3, okay? I mean, see, it starts like this, okay? The value here, okay, is going to be this plus this, okay? The value here is going to be this plus that, okay? Hold down Shift and Control and enter. See? Again, I'm going to make that a number. So, you know, every week I've been buying $1,000 worth of the stock, okay? So at the end of the first week I had 37 shares, and then I had 76 shares, then I had 115 shares, and I had 150, okay, blah, blah, blah. These are all my shares, okay? Keeps going up because I'm buying $1,000 worth every week, okay? So after a year, I'll have 1,990.99 shares, okay? Okay, so this would be shares owned, okay, S shares owned, okay. Let's scoot that down a little bit. And then I'm going to click here, I'm going to have a value. Okay. And so the weekly value is going to be the amount of shares times the closing. Okay. Yeah. What if your company has what? We're not even worried about dividends right now. I'm just worried about the stock that I bought. I'm buying $1,000 a week. Okay. And I'm just trying to see how much all that's added up to. Okay. I'm going to do dividends. Okay. I'm going to add the value. I'm going to add the dividends. So in addition to the value of the stock, it's also all the dividends that I've got. Okay. But right now, I'm just trying to get how much the stock is worth. Okay. And each week, the stock is worth the number of shares, okay, times the closing price. Okay. So left click here, all the way down. That is equal to the number of shares times the closing price. Hold down. So the value of this investment is going to change week by week, right? Because it changes with the stock price. Okay. So basically, I'm going to multiply G2, that's this cell right here, times B2. That's this, okay? Then I'm going to multiply G3 by B3, G4 by B4. Hold down Shift and Control and hit enter. And I want that to be currency. Okay. So as of this week, my value of this investment is $62,000. Okay. Well, I mean, it cost me $52,000 to buy it, right? I've been putting $1,000 every week into Microsoft, okay? And so I've made $10,000, okay? How about that? If I started the year with the $52,000, okay, and I put $1,000 into Microsoft each week, okay, at the end of that time, that's worth $62,000. So I've made $10,000. That's about 20%. Okay. So if you'd invested in Microsoft this last year, by the way, this is called dollar averaging investing. Okay, you invest the same amount on the same interval. It doesn't have to be weekly; it can be monthly or whatever. But you always just put in the same amount. Okay? And then when the stock is down, you get more shares for that week. Okay? When the stock is up, you buy less shares. So basically, you're buying more shares at the lower price. Okay? And so in the long range, you make money. This is 20% on your money. That's a lot better than a CD, right? If you had a $50,000 and put it into a CD, you'd have got 2%, 3%. Okay. If you put it in the stock market, okay, and bought Microsoft, you'd have made 20%. Okay. But of course, you could have lost your shirt too if Microsoft had gone down, right? So it's a gamble. But in addition to that $62,000, I've made some dividends. Okay. Now, where did I make some dividends? Well, I'll tell you what we can do. We can just multiply these shares times the dividend, okay? So click on dividend amounts, okay? Dividend amount. Okay. And so I can hold down the left button. Go all the way down. That is equal to, okay, the amount of shares I had. Select the shares. Okay. So the shares times the dividends, okay? Most of the time I didn't get anything, okay? Multiplication, you know, in Excel is a you know, the star there. Hold down Shift, Control, and Enter. Yeah. And I want that to be a dollar amount. Dividends would be a dollar amount. So currency. So basically, this week. Here, the week of 2/13, I didn't get any dividend, okay? And no dividends. But back in December, I got a check for $343. And then I got a check for $235. Yeah. And then I got a check for $107. And then a check for $24, okay? Once a quarter. So I got some more money by dividends. So let's do this. Let's click on this and hold down. And we just go one extra, okay? And come over here to this summation sign, hold that down, and I just hit the sum here, sum. So down at the bottom, it gave me the sum of all the dividends. I got $711.06 in dividends this year. I'm gonna click on that. I'm gonna copy that. Copy that right up here. Okay. Paste it. Oops. When it does that, okay, basically, when you computed a value like that, and you try to copy this computed value, it doesn't like it. So when you copy, you had to come down there to paste, hit this little lower arrow here, and say just paste the value. Okay. So actually, in addition to this being worth $62,218, in addition to that, I've collected $711 in dividends. Okay. So basically, I've invested $52,000 over the year, and now it's worth $62,280 plus $711 in dividends. Okay. Okay. So now, what else does it say? Well, you're really lucky if your company is Microsoft. Because if you've been following this, Dr. Johnson has been doing assignment 2 for you. Who's doing Microsoft? Congratulations. I'm not going to put this up on Blackboard. It wouldn't be fair. I put the one last week about Amazon. I put that up on Blackboard, right? Did anybody see that Amazon thing on Blackboard? What? Okay. Well, anyway, the place you see it is in the assignments. Okay, you look at assignment 2, and then it'll have attachments. It'll be a new attachment to assignment 2. But I will look at it, but in a minute, let's try to finish this, okay? Graph your results in one or more graphs that you feel best convey an understanding of the results, okay? Graph your results in one or more graphs that you feel best convey an understanding of the results. Use any Excel graph type that you deem appropriate. Turn all results in on a single Excel workbook with different pages for each graph. Well, how do I do a graph? Well, I don't know. Let's just first of all, I'm gonna hold this down, and I'm gonna put all this stuff here. I'm gonna put little boxes around it because I think it looks good. All borders, okay. That looks a little nicer, okay. And then probably I'm going to click on this one over here. I'm going to insert a couple of rows, and so I can put a heading on it, you know. cosc 1300 assignment 2, yeah. Spring 2012, yeah. And put your name, I guess. Okay. and then put your ID. Okay. Always a good idea to put a date too. Put say 3. You're going to turn this in on the 3rd. Okay. It's always nice to have those kind of things. Okay. Now, it's also good to look at how this thing would print out. Okay. Always good to look at a print preview. Yeah. Page 1 of 3, it says. Okay. That's page 1. This is page 2. Page 3. I'm going to click on page setup. I'm going to make this landscape instead of portrait. Page 2 of 2. Okay. So there's page 1 of 2. Page 2 of 2. That looks a little better. Yeah. Okay, now what about these graphs? I'll tell you what let's do. Let's just take all this data and let's hold down the left key and let's mark it all off, okay? And now we want to get a graph, okay? And how do we get a graph? Insert. Oh, hit the Insert tab. Insert charts. Okay. Charts and graphs are the same thing. Okay? We can do column charts. We can do a line chart, a pie chart, a bar chart, an area chart. Let's go to look at a line chart. Okay? So here, stacked line. Okay. Display trends. Okay. Here, this marks with markers. Let's do that. Oh. What is all this? Okay. Well, that doesn't look too good. Okay. It puts the dates down here, and it puts value here, but all these others are so close together. It's kind of, you know. I guess it's better to. I guess it's better to do them one at a time, huh? So this is the stock. This is the value of your investment right here. See, it goes up to $60,000. Okay, these other values are so small by comparison. It doesn't make it does not make a good chart. Okay, so let's go back. Let's just start here, and let's just go with the date and the close, okay? Okay. Let's insert a line. So that gets the closing price. Okay, this we can get the closing price of Microsoft over the last year, so we can see how the value of Microsoft has been going up and down. Okay. And I'm going to right click on this, okay? And I'm going to say cut. And then we're down here and I'm going to get a new sheet, okay? And I'm going to say paste. Okay? So basically now my Excel worksheet has two sheets on it, okay? It has this sheet and then it's got this sheet, okay? Now let's do this. Let's do the date. And say the value. Insert line chart. It didn't get the date here, okay? It just got 14752, so now there's a way to handle this, okay? You have to, here's the vertical axis here, and here is the horizontal axis, okay? And so you can right click here. Oops. I guess you go down. Let me think of this. Add major grid line. Format the axis, okay? So the axis here are gonna x-axis, okay? Click select data, and I want the data to be I don't want it to be H4, I want it to be A. A4. I'm out of time, so y'all can go ahead and leave, okay? Thank you. Not sure that works, okay?
Are you gonna put that on the, well, not this one, but the Amazon one is on.
Let me check. Yes.
Do you want us to make a graph for all of the columns, like for the value, the dividends, and?
It says do what you think is necessary to explain it.
Okay. Oh, and if you want, I figured out a way to put the dates on them.
What?
I figured out a way to put the dates on.
Oh, yeah, good. Good. amount was the shares owned multiplied by the dividend. Yeah.
You know how you say for the paper, you say that it's 3 pages long
Mhm.
and 1 works cited?
Mhm.
Well, on my paper, I met all the requirements except that the comment was that it says that it was in 4-page length.
It was what?
It was in 4-page.
Yeah.
Oh, I got that too.
Yeah, and I was wondering if
How long was it?
it was 3 pages and 1 works cited, so total is 4.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I meant like besides.
So everything together 4 pages.
It said work cited. Well,
Yeah.
what he took off for that?
Yeah, he took up 10 points.
yeah.
What did he say?
He just say
It's not
too short,
long enough.
not long
Not
enough.
like
Not 4
page length.
length. Yeah, it did. But one
Well, were your 3 pages all the way full?
Because I asked her.
Yeah, she was.
I didn't hear, so I wrote over.
I'll talk to him. Yeah.
Can I get extra points for
Your question is,
Yeah. Well, I just see
four
that.
pages, double space plus single space reference.
What he said was like.
Did it say plus references?
It said, yeah, plus single space.
Oh. Did it say 4 pages plus references? Oh. It said 4 pages plus references.
Oh, but I asked her in
Yeah.
class and you said it's okay.
No. We always go by the written, okay. Whatever is in the writing, okay, is the contract, okay? Yeah. Question?
I haven't heard my name called. I just wanted to make sure if I was.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure that I was on your list.
Okay, what was it? The stock times what? I forgot. Do you have the dividend map?
On my computer.
Okay. I'm sorry, your last name?
Palos, P-A-L-O-S.
Well, you're here.
Okay. We just have.
I did call on you once. You got a 0. I guess you weren't here. Have you missed some class?
No, been here. I guess I just didn't hear it. Okay.
What was it again? I didn't like.
Uh,
I forgot. You told me about share on.
well, it's the shares times the dividend.
Right, sure. I think.
Mhm.
I just want to ask, are you going to put the Amazon one? Because I made that announcement.
Well, I'll check, okay? I thought I'd already put it up there, okay? But my password has expired. So I gotta change my password. I don't want to do it on the spot, yeah.
Oh, on the paper, on my paper,
Mm-hmm.
he, I guess, cause I couldn't figure out how to, you know, upload the PDF file and send it. So I just copy and pasted my paper, and I was able to do it on VNet though, but he said that